Yo, welcome
Let's go.
everybody.
All right.
Today's Pirates Forest Cup special. On the podium we have Hardass, Lorddo, Stimpack, Bomber, Benny, and the Moonman. So yeah, go on, guys. Fight. Oh, I whatever you wanted to do. No,
What an intro! What an intro!
hey,
That's all the prepared intro you have.
I was
All right, so
okay.
we have with us today Bomber from Skull and Bones, also Lorder from Skull and Bones, and Hardass from Bulk, as well as Steampack. Skull and Bones obviously is representing the pirates of the game. I think everybody knows them. They are the #1 pirate guild in Star Atlas, as far as I can tell. They are the first ones, the original ones. So that's kind of why we wanted them online here today. And we also have with us Hardass, who is a elite dangerous player. Played for quite some years, from what I know, and he's also representing the cop side of everything, as many of you, or maybe not many of you, but some of you may have gotten the little note that Hardass released the last Atlas brew. And there was some interesting points there, and the Pirates has also some of the points of their own. So we're kind of here to discuss that today. So I don't know who of you wants to go first. Maybe if Skull and Bones, one of you guys would like to introduce yourself and what the pirate code really stands for. Are you just like looting, pillaging like bastards, or is it more to it? That's kind of what we want to know.
Well, thanks for the kind introduction, Benny. We really appreciate it. It's going to be a little difficult for me to go push the talking back and forth, but yeah, the pirate code is a very specific set of rules. Essentially, there's only five, pretty simple. In essence, I'm not going to read it verbatim, but in essence, it's don't lie to us, don't steal from us, and don't fuck us. Otherwise, we're good, right? The code is really meant for everyone works together in order to succeed as a collective, as opposed to working apart. That is essentially it. It is trust above all, in essence. So yeah, it's looting and pillaging, but amongst others, not amongst each other. So, if that answers that question.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ardas,
There,
you probably have some views of your own from the cup side of things.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the intro, and thanks everyone for coming and being a part of this first historical panel on Star Atlas TV. I want to just clarify that I'm representing not just the cop side. I'm representing the side that will be bounty hunting, that will be just maintaining order, uh, civilians, keeping them safe and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I released the article just to. First, it took me a lot of time to gather all the opinions of many different people that I respect in Elite Dangerous, and that I hope will transition one day into Star Atlas, because they will be very valuable members of the community, and. Then I wanted just to see how these questions and these words will affect the people in the community, because I have really no problem with pirates. I have no problem with anyone from the community. The problem that we will all have are the real criminals. So I just want to make that side clear, that Bomber and Skull and Bones, Lordo, everyone here is someone I respect, and I want to clarify that part. If you guys have any questions regarding my article, we can start with there. Or Lordo mentioned something in the chat that was a question, that was a problem. He said that he would focus on, or maybe something else to focus on. It's on you.
I just kind of
no, I
wonder,
think
like, if I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you say like criminals, what kind of defines a criminal, like in your opinion?
Well, I think that I could answer that also with the
Yeah,
hardest.
go ahead, Stimpack. I mean, Stimpack is, I would like to introduce you to. He's also playing Elite Dangerous with me in Blue Star. He was the leader of Blue Star, and right now I'm the leader. But we exchange priorities when we need to. We have a really tight squadron. So he is one of the guys that helped me write this paper also.
Yeah, the point when you differentiate the criminal of somebody who is playing a role, in my opinion, it's very clear. It's when what you're damaging is not just the goods of somebody, but you're damaging something in his real life. The experience in Elite Dangerous has been kind of mixed up. There are a lot of people that play the role of the pirate or they play the role of his faction, and that's fine because it's what gives like a spice to the game. Otherwise, it could be really boring. But it's the people that attack noobs in open space or just destroy ships just for the pleasure of it, or and keep harassing players or being toxic in general, and that's what we
It's a good point.
call yes.
Yeah, so
Yo, if I can interject right there, the Moon Man speaking, wouldn't that be the definition of a pirate? Somebody that's doing nefarious actions? Wouldn't that be a criminal? For the simple fact that you state that the definition of a criminal is somebody that's not just doing things in game, but they're actually hurting people's life in real life. But assets that we own are actually real money value. These are things that they've put their hard-earned money from real life into. If we're talking Elite Dangerous, then it's just all a game. So nobody's being hurt on the outside except for maybe their emotions. But if you start tearing apart people's ships or start stealing their digital assets, then you actually are hurting their real life because that was real money spent. So wouldn't that then be the definition of a pirate?
like I said,
No. Criminal.
like I said, listen, the difference here, and I want to be very clear, is what you're talking about is maliciousness. Like we are a PvP group from the core, right? That's where I came from my whole life. We're not PKers and we're not malicious. We're not looking to camp out noobs. We want the game to grow. We have a very set core of ideas in our actions, and PKing new players is not part of that, game plan. Like we're not here to be malicious. We are just acting as part of the game itself. Piracy is part of the game. Player versus player is part of the game. None of the things we're doing is out of line with the game. But I do agree we are not the malicious type. We're not going to be camping spawn points. We're not going to be doing that. We have a very specific set of plans. But look, you going into deep space, there's a warning. There is a risk. You know what you're doing. That is not on us, right? But we're not going to be camping, spawn points between 1 and 2, right, for new players. That's just fucked up. We want to see the game succeed. We want to see it grow. We're one of the largest advocates for it. So just to stress that point, we agree. Piracy is part of the game. It's just basically part of the player versus player interaction from our end, right? Even if, no matter what you say, if you're a cop and you fight a pirate and you loot them, that's still pirating. You still looted, right? Yeah. So either way, no matter how you view it, that's part of the game interaction. However, malicious intent is not something we intend, and I agree with you wholeheartedly there. And we would certainly act with other guilds to eliminate those sort of bad players, bad actors. And I didn't mean to interject, Lordo. I know you want to say something as well.
No, I think you perfectly summarize what we stand for.
Solid.
Perfect. Exactly. That's why this was very important for me, so that not only I am saying this, but actually you guys say it yourself, because I know that the real criminals that we will all have a problem for are not going to have a panel with us. They're not going to discuss. But what I do fear is that these kind of personalities are going to be more attracted to the pirate, side. Don't you think so?
Yeah, that's to make clear a point. The Moonman said something that is very, very clear. It's that it makes clear that the border is the same. The border between what we call a PK or a ganker and a pirate, it can be thin. The same as the border between a pirate and a lawful player can be really thin. As you said, if I attack you, you're a pirate, you are wanted. I destroy or damage your ship. I loot from you. I'm pirating you. I'm doing it on the established law, but I'm pirating you, and you're right totally about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, the point here it's about exactly what you say, maliciousness. It's not giving a damn about the game itself. That's what happened.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable in this game, as we all.
Yeah, and the point is that if that happened with players that even were on the law side and then they became part of the worst part of the outlaws, and it happened in a game that was not playing as the Moonman said with real money, basically. Uh, the point of somebody thinking that they can get the real money from somebody just attacking people who are new or lost in the game is something that we all as guilds will have to fight against, because if we don't let new guys grow in the game and tell them, hey, there is a clear warning, you're new, you cannot pilot the ship properly, your ship is not ready to go to the dangerous area, don't go there. If the guy goes, as you said, it's on his own risk, you know. but
Yeah, it's part of
but
the game.
yeah, it's part of the game. Exactly. The point of these protective zones, I think it makes the game. On one side, it makes it like less realistic because obviously you could be killed anywhere, but it makes it. I think it's a good idea to introduce new players. So if you want to stay in your easy game, you stay in the easy zone. If you want to go a little bit harder, you go to the middle one. If you're really going to go hardcore, then you go to the dangerous area. I think that is going to counterattack all the intents of people just ganking new players very much.
It
To be
look, so
honest.
it comes down to an economic factor, right? The amount of resources you spend standing there, because normally PKers do it for fun. They're in it for the memes. They're normally end game players that have nothing else to fucking do. You're not going to sit there all day ganking new players if you get nothing from their ships. So the majority of players, I believe, like us, will be out in deep space, right? You're right, though. It is inevitable we will have bad players and bad actors. However, you have your own cop ring. I don't remember what the whole ring is called, right, for you guys. But there is also a pirate one. So, we admit or decline certain groups. It would certainly be against another guild's interest to go against us, because we ourselves would then pirate them, right? If they're not part of our order, we have free reign to shoot them down. So I think we've already built in a little bit of a failsafe. However, we are expecting that without a doubt. There will
Yeah.
be some malicious players, no question.
The other side is also it's less common, but the other side is also true. I mean, there could be people, and that can sound funny, but there can be people that could go too lawful, and maybe you say like, what? Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some people
dictatorship.
that wouldn't.
They get power trip.
Yeah, they cannot understand that is at the end it's just a game. Okay, it's a game with money, it's a metaverse, everything is okay, but some people just get lost there. It's like, hey man, you are not a real mercenary, you're not a real policeman, you have issues and you need to go to see a doctor,
Well, that
and
that's it's a I mean, it's a good question to raise, because I mean, are you technically not if you're making a salary equal to a real policeman?
no. Because if I shoot you to pieces, I'm not killing
No,
you in
no,
real life.
of course not. But my point
Yeah.
is, in terms of
Mhm.
economic value, the job that someone can hold in profession in this game could be equal to or more value of the counterpart in reality.
Yeah,
So
but
I
if you're
wouldn't
on the same
necessarily say,
table, yeah.
you aren't XYZ. I would just say yes, at a certain point, this is a game for sure. And those lines, as we've mentioned, are going to be crossed. It's
Yeah.
inevitable.
It's
Happens in every
inevitable.
every MMORPG forever, because humans are just stupid.
Mhm.
It's only inevitable to the lines to be crossed, and also what you guys will be doing in the high kind of patrolling it, and policing it, imposing your rules on whoever is smallest than you. That's how it works. And
Exactly.
especially in deep space, when we are all explorers in the beginning, and I mean, we can play pretend that we are on the side of one faction or the other, but we all have different motivation for playing this game, and for everyone, I think for everyone that is invested even a little bit of time, not money, but just time, and enjoys the whatever community is building, any part of it is interested in this thing to succeed and for 1 million players to join us by the end of the year, right? That's the plan.
100% agreed. You need none of this is possible for any of us unless the game exists and we have players to play with.
Yeah, that's that's one of the points I was talking with Hardass before, that the guessing is killing me with this game because I have so much imagination, and I'm guessing so many things that somehow I feel that I'm going to be overwhelmed by the many opportunities and the many possibilities of the game. I was talking with ODVB yesterday also about it, and yeah, it's so huge, the idea. Anyway, about the law and the areas, one of the parts that I have heard many things about it, but it's not clear yet to me. Maybe you guys can make it more clear to me and to the people that are listening. It's about how the bounty hunting system is going to work, and how, I know that you can only be like wanted, or you can only commit like aggression in the middle zone, I think, and also in the high risk zone. I'm not very
So
sure.
we don't know entirely. We don't know everything, and I'm just going to say whatever I say is subject to change based upon the devs, right? But from our last, essentially Atlas group regarding bounty hunting, their view on this is the ships are going to have 3 stances at present, right? A passive, an aggressive, and a shipping or something like that. Maybe someone can correct me. If you attack a ship in passive while you're aggressive, you will incur a bounty. If you attack a ship aggressive versus aggressive, it is fair game. And as you mentioned, there is no attacking in low risk zone, the first one, aside from player PvE. So as just to allude to your previous comment, I think first zone is going to be for players just looking to play the game. They're not looking for anything more. As you start to search out, players want to, they have better gear. They want a little bit of a challenge. They start to interact with the players. Third zone, where we're focused, as we mentioned, is player versus player specifically, and there is no law there, so any attack is warranted. So really, you're only going to see bounty hunting, I think, predominantly in zone 2. Is my guess here.
Yeah, but what about if let's say big faction, okay, gets in the high risk zone, and will they be able to set we could say faction law or bounty hunting system of their own? Because that's one of the things that, it's a high risk zones. There is risk, of course, for the player, but there is like kind of like a security route, and
No,
if you
there is
go,
no security in the high risk zone. It's all on you and your guild, which is why we're a specifically
yeah, but
high
if
risk zone faction,
a
and other
guild can
guilds are high
install
risk.
there, I see it like from an Elite Dangerous point of view, is like they're lawless system, right? That if you're attacking, you are not wanted. You're just attacking
It
somebody.
is. It is lawless. It is
Yeah,
100%
but if
lawless to our knowledge.
somebody installed themselves there, like, okay, they
So
settle a
us,
planet.
that's us. Okay, use us. We're gonna install on a planet. What's the example?
Exactly. But if not you, but let's say a more lawful organization, huge organization, they want to get close to the resources and they just get themselves in a lawless area. Will they be able to change the status of those systems, or it's just going to stay lawless forever?
We
It's just
don't have a Polish DAO for deep space. To last I heard, if anyone can correct me there, by all means.
yeah,
But last I heard, deep space does not have DAO capabilities. So it's all about your guild, right? And because there, since you're not imposing laws, it's more about your internal structure and managing that area, less the game
right,
itself helping you out.
But because
right.
you are kind of managing, taking into consideration that even it's the same. It doesn't matter. Is it a pirate or is it some I don't know, police
Yeah,
faction?
anything, any faction.
Whoever
Yep.
is taking the space is going to bring NPCs. You're going to set up patrols. You're going to set up networks of supplies and stuff like that, right? So every organization in this space is actually lawless, right? Until they establish their own law in that space,
Exactly.
right?
Correct. And not just their own law. It's not within the game, it's within their own organization, to be clear, right? The game doesn't have a structure to say, hey, you get to input X polis, and this is what it equals for deep space. It's really, as you mentioned, right? You set up there, and whatever structure you have is how you operate it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is another touch point for all organizations that are planning to go into deep space. You need to be able to patrol the area, to secure the area, and to defend the area. If you are attacked, not just by players, but by who knows what in deep space, right? And for me personally, I think that it's better to make an alliance with someone in deep space than to make enemies before you even realize, who is who and what the resources they control and where and what kind of forces they have, right? So I think it's only reasonable that we all start out, with of course, our rules and things that we hold, as law in our organizations. But then, of course, probably there will be an organization that will just be like anarchists. They don't want anything; they just want to kill. And I don't expect them to come to any kind of Discord meeting or whatever. So definitely, I'm looking forward to future interactions with everyone, especially organized organizations like Skull and Bones.
If I can make an SEO reference there, what you're referring to is what we call the black coffin or laughing coffin, right? Just a group of people who just want to kill maliciously. Yeah, eventually we'll see those guys. But we'll all group together and destroy them. Because as we all know, right, this game is essentially pay to win, slightly. So yeah, you have to also remember if these guys, are one-off dudes, maybe they're in their biggest ship might be one capital, but going against a whole fleet would be really ill-advised. So it's going to be interesting to see how they manage that risk. Pick and run sort of play. Very curious to see how that goes.
Mhm. The pay to win, it's a very interesting concept that you took now because it's not somehow. It's pay to win or be very good to win. I agree with you. And some of these actors that can become toxic for the community in a given moment can be really powerful in terms of financial terms, in terms of money. And I'm curious how are we going to manage that, because it's a metaverse and everything can happen and everything it's in theory allowed. So yeah, those I just want to kill. To be honest, you don't put your assets at risk if you're not going to expect earning something from it. But maybe
Yeah.
as
Can I add
as
in
Alfred said,
something? Yeah, for
sure.
me it's like the resources, like why you would go into the high risk zone. It's only because you want these resources, and the bigger guild's gonna need all the resources, the rare ones, to buy Potoli ships, for example. So how is that gonna play out? Like, will there be factions fighting for that stuff, or will there be a mutual agreement? So that's why I think something like the
or
pirates
maybe
come in,
or
because
maybe
they
there'll
can
be
be
an
hired
explorer
by
that
a
goes.
guild, like to
It's a
hurt
case by
another
case
guild.
basis.
Yeah. So, but I think
It's
the
It's
100% a
Yeah.
case by case
the
basis.
attention will be there because people want the X resources or whatever we get over there. So, because they want to earn money, so they're gonna take the risk, I guess.
Yeah, but is there going to be? It's I agree. I agree with Bomber. It has to be case by case situation. But is it going to be something in the game to avoid huge players taking over? Because I think that's at least I'm a small player. I'm not a rich guy or anything.
It's going to require coordination, like anything in reality. This is just a mirror of reality. There's no benefit or sway or basically benefit to the little guy here. If there's one big whale and he's got 10 fucking C11s, well, you got to get together with a bunch of other people to take him down, because the game's not saying, oh well, one guy's got this. I got to cut him down, because that's just not fair, right?
Yes.
The other point I would
The,
do
the game really is a macro politic game for sure,
yeah,
above anything else.
but how
Like
big,
I said, as you're mentioning,
like
we might not work with each.
you got cut off there.
Yeah. Now both of you shut up.
I was gonna yin yang. But say, for example, as you mentioned, there's a malicious actor in a space, and we work together to destroy them collectively, because that's bad for both of us. So it's a case by case basis. And I think that's going to be withstanding for the whole game.
The other thing I want to add, because we don't really know how big it's gonna be, like how big, like if you build something like Hardass is saying, like an organization who protects new players or whatever in the high risk zone. So how far stretched they will be? Like, could I sneak in there, or will every space be like taken, so to say? Like, because we don't know how big is the high risk zone gonna be, like, it will be.
Space is big. OD space is real big.
So probably
Oh,
if
is
I'm
it?
acting alone,
Yeah,
but
let's hope so.
so
It's real big.
if I'm acting alone, I could sneak into the red zone and would have no trouble if it's big enough, So maybe
If
we.
you're
I'm sure
acting
you
alone,
could, but you're taking the risk. It's
like,
all risk management, right? Like you're investing in yourself in a game, right? It's breaking
exactly.
ground in a lot of fronts. So you're gonna have to add risk management to the game because look, you can't just. It's not infinite respawn. If you lose an asset in that deep space, yeah, you're right. Maybe I need to go there to do this mission, but you're like, you know what? Right now, it's not worth it because I know this area is dominated by X, Y, Z, or what have you. Or they go to a guild and say, hey, I'd like to work with you for this. Mercenary work. I think we haven't talked about it at all, but I think as the game develops, because right now it is impossible to be a solo player. It's just ill-advised, right? I think anyone here would agree with that. But later on, as the game develops and people start to have their own careers and just want to play on their own, the mercenaries, I think, will play a large part in that sort of line of
Yeah,
thinking,
that's
where they tag into it.
yeah.
Where my line of thinking is for
Yeah,
that.
that's actually what we do in Elite Dangerous. We are basically a private military company, and we act as mercenaries. But it's difficult to do it there in Elite Dangerous because it's a very individual game sometimes, And as you say, this is gonna be something impossible here. And either you are the freaking machine piloting any ship, or in the moment three guys go against you, you're gonna get down. That's it. That's about
Well,
it.
that's the point of the guild, right? That's really in essence what Skull and Bones is, and why we're a deep space guild. Because as we're all talking, you would get blown to bits by yourself. The whole point of our guild and really our MO is, all for one and one for all. We all work together in order to succeed and enable gameplay in those areas. Because without a guild and without everyone of the same mind and ethos, it would be truly impossible.
Exactly. But you, for a pirate, you speak like a businessman, right? You speak like a real
That's why
businessman.
he's in Thailand chilling, man,
One
and you're sweating.
Yeah. That's why he's in pirating. I understand. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that's it. It's risk investment. Is risk management. Basically, it's what can I do? How can I do it? Can I reach there? Can I not? Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Sure.
Speaking on a macro base, I would never bring this many people to follow me if there wasn't a plan and just say, hey, everyone go to hell and throw your ships to shit.
Exactly.
We have a very specific risk management plan in order to enable gameplay while rewarding the players for
Yeah,
that
getting
risk.
the skills investment in the skills you have. I think that's gonna be the final frontier of everything. Investing in knowledge and skills, in-game skills. That's what's gonna give you the edge. It doesn't matter which kind of organization you're running. If you have somebody that is good at something and he's the best at something, you want him with you. And it's the same as in real life, You're gonna hire people, and it's not gonna be just like military and mercenary. I think there will be a lot of old things,
Oh,
Political
for
people,
sure.
diplomacy.
Information will be very expensive.
Yeah.
Lorddo is a
For
perfect
sure.
example of that. One of the greatest.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, for what
You
exactly,
should talk
Ludo?
more, Lordo. Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, it is. Wait to see what we have planned, and yeah, you will have your mind blown.
Give us some alpha. It's now I'm interested in careers. I want to know
Yeah, come
what's
on,
going on.
Well,
tell
yeah.
us more.
Well, look, we've worked many months on what's called the black paper, and it is a full-on breakdown of our guild and how it works, the economics and everything, and that will be released to the public very, very soon. And then you all have a very good understanding of where we're at and the depth of thought that's put into it, and it will definitely give the community certain clarification on what we do.
That's cool, man. Looking forward to it.
I actually read the article that you guys published, and you definitely, I believe in your organization that you guys will be able to organize, that you will reach deep space, and will organize something there. And now, I'm interested to see how it develops. As long as you're not pirating me and my people, my organizations, I don't have. I'm not gonna go from my deep space side to your deep space side to correct something that you did, right? So I just want to make a point that we will all be going from one center into totally different directions, right? Or how do you know where to stop? How do you find the place where to stop? Do you have scouts ahead of your main fleet? How is it going? So it will all be very interesting to see.
My friend, read The Art of War. That is how you will figure it out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I agree.
Nice. So you're gonna be friends now, like you make an alliance, or
Well,
We're all
it all
amicable. We're adults here. We're amicable, right? This is a
okay.
game, and like just because our views and our gameplay style is different doesn't mean we can't be amicable.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm
Again,
watching the screen, guys, and you missed us. And
You
the
will
one in the
you will see soon enough. We do have some bad blood with a couple actors, so you'll see soon. We'll get down in the weeds with a couple. You'll get the memes. Don't worry.
That's cool. ODDB, guys, the moderators, the guy that has a Stimpack under the name is Hardass, and the guy that has a Hardass is Stimpack. Yes. It's
hey,
the other way around. Or we could do something. Just move to the other side, Hardass.
No, I got it.
Just say
no, I'll just move the
like
camera.
here.
I'll just move the camera,
No,
man.
don't move the camera.
I'll
Just
sit and
change
you
of seats.
stand at what do you want to do?
No, I have to stay on because I
Okay,
cannot sit like this. I will have to
let's
change the
change,
camera
man.
to first person.
I'm going to your seat now.
Yeah, but I cannot sit. I have to stay up.
No,
I think I had it right on mine. It was probably Benny's
like
because
this.
I knew
Yeah.
who you are. Like I saw you yesterday.
Yeah, because you saw it yesterday.
Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
That was Benny's
on.
fault. Like on my, I have making a video, so no
don't go on
problem
blaming
over here.
me, man.
No problem over
No,
here.
come on.
Yeah.
Do it.
So how you
This
guys
is the
gonna
memes.
how you
Moderator
guys gonna
fight.
think with the spy game is going on?
But
Like,
here I can
do you
just change
think
like that.
already like the Skull and Bones
Episode
have?
2 of the Adventures of OD and
How are we
Benny.
doing with time, guys? How are we doing with time?
Oh, no idea. 10. When is the brew? Like
What?
that's the only issue.
I think it
The
cut
brew.
off.
What a
So,
cliffhanger! What a cliffhanger!
do they have a spy? Do they have a spy in Interstellar Alliance?
Yeah, that was my question. Does Skull and Bones have have spies in the club? Like I have spies.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
You have your own bot, dude.
Yeah, I have
That's why
bots,
we
yeah.
pay you.
Yeah. Oh, so me? No.
You're our
We
spy,
pay
OD.
you, yeah.
We're calling you out. You're our spy.
Quiet.
No, I'm
We all pay
neutral.
ODDB,
Neutral.
ODDB is making money.
Like I come with my Opel jet.
We
and
pay
then
him an Atlas a month, guys. I'm just telling you, we got him on contract every month. We pay him.
We actually did find that there is actually a lot of spy networks going on behind the scenes. I don't know how many of you know it, but
it's gonna be the most.
That's our side of the coin.
It was
I said that's our side of the coin. It would be bad if we were not aware of these actions going on.
But I mean, that has to be. That's part of the game, and that's the funny part of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, above a game, this
but let's say
is a
it's not that funny.
Politics game.
What happened to
everything trickles down from the deals happening now.
So since we're here now, what happened in the club with the trooper thing? Wasn't that about spying as well? That story?
You're cutting off the
such cliffhanger.
What's up?
I'm cutting off.
You were secretly recruiting
Yeah,
for a guild called La Mesa Redonda. which
I'm
means the
gonna tell
round
you
table.
our side. I'm gonna tell you my side. From my perspective, I didn't notice any changes. Okay, for me, nothing changed. I didn't even hear about it until it was done. And
Okay.
it would be like to talk about counterintelligence. It's not realistic because if it's good counterintelligence in intelligence networks, they are if we hear about it, they made a mistake.
That's right. That's right.
And another question to add,
So
like
I guess none of us are going to reveal if we actually have spies.
no, it's very and what
I
scares me
should
most,
take. I
like
should.
sorry, just to add, like how far would you go? Like, would you spy on guys in real life? Would you spy on the Star Atlas team? Like getting somebody into the Star Atlas team and spy
I
for
think
information
that the
there?
border of real life is clear for me, at least. The real
Yeah.
life border is clear.
Was this gonna be really, really strange at some
You don't
point
need
with
to.
all?
You don't need to spy on Star Atlas team.
That's
You
why
just
I
you just
fucking
donate
did,
to the.
man.
Yeah, but that's like there's so many
Yeah.
like with so much money involved, I'm really scared about real life consequences. Especially like not for me or myself, but like if you a guy with a few millions in assets and then people start spying on you and maybe like you know how it is, there's crime in real life as well, so it's gonna be really scary at some point, I think. What do you guys think about that?
Well, that,
It's
yeah, but I
inevitable.
think,
That's the point of the game.
yeah, but I think,
That's the point of the
but I
game.
think that the real life is a board, don't have any money, so that's okay.
Yeah,
But about security and all this stuff, I think that's a part that devs should be very careful about. Like, if I have a lot of money invested or some money invested in something like a game like this, I hope the game will be. I'm guessing that it will
Listen,
be completely safe. Yeah, completely
listen. I mean,
safe, and
if you have
I will be
millions in
hidden
real
good
life,
enough.
you spent it. If you spent millions in real life and now you bought for 100,000 something or more, whatever is a big amount of money. You already have security measures in place. I mean, it would be stupid for someone to attack someone in real life because of a game. But we will have to see how it happens, because we had doxing and stuff happen because of a game, Elite Dangerous, which is not for money. It was just because of
yeah,
hurt
that's what I mean. Like
emotions.
you see it
People
like on
get
the other
to
MMOs.
cross the line
Yeah.
and do stupid shit that then, when you look back
Yeah,
on
well,
that, you
I
look
think
Inevitable.
that's in this type of games.
exactly.
So
Yeah, it's open in reality, guys. That's what it's like in everything,
yeah,
no matter what you do.
yeah. And
But like I said, look, the lone investor, even if he has a million assets, a guild collective can squash him. That's my point, right? It's really a macro politics game. Yes, one player can come in with a lot and they can do damage, but if you had 3 guilds pop up on that guy, he's done. You're not going to survive. Because what I call this is basically a school of fish following a whale. Like those sorts of guilds will never survive. There's no backbone to it. There's no ethos aside from I'm following this big protection. The moment it starts to crumble, it will collapse. So I'm not necessarily so concerned with those players. In terms of security, I mean, this is blockchain. You are responsible for your own funds. You took it from a bank and you put it to your own hands. So I think, above the game and above anything like that, it's really on just teaching people security on blockchain and security for the web, right? You don't share personal information. There's a lot of other things that go into play. And I think as we all touched, right, you don't want to dox for these sorts of things because, these are life-changing sums of money for other people. Money's relative. So
yeah,
I agree with all your points there.
And to add some more, do you think there will be consequences in game for certain actions? Like, should a team be able to ban players, for example, or stuff like that? Or is
No,
it Wild
I think
West?
that's up to
no,
them.
that's too much power.
Okay.
You have to work together then. Like, if you all want to get a player out, well, then you got to work together. That's what I'm talking about. That's reality. This game is really a mirror of reality. That's why I love it so much. There's so many contingencies for human emotion that we have to plan for, and that's really what makes it beautiful.
Actually, I look at it as an experiment. You know, it's like a very precise human experiment that we will just see. You know, we are starting in easy zones, and the mods and the admins have all the power, right? And before they transition, I think they want to make sure that there is some civilian law is being followed, some logic, is being followed. And of course, if you cheat, what, you don't get banned. The money that you took in
Oh,
from
how?
cheating
But
from
what's
blockchain.
cheating? What would you? Let's be very specific here,
I don't know.
because
Let's say
as
you
for our listeners
yeah.
listening, right? Like, let's be very specific. How can you cheat on blockchain? Do you exploit a bug?
Maybe.
In that case, it would be a pretty
No, you
large
Yeah,
just
issue with
like
the
using
game.
exploit
If
or
if I can just jump in right here, Swagner has said himself, if you as a player of the game find an exploit or something that gives you a lot of value that you're not necessarily meant to be, you are allowed to keep that because it's on blockchain. It's not cheating. They're not going to do anything to kind of like stop these kind of players. So if you find exploits, they will probably. I'm not gonna say that this is what he said, but they're probably gonna give out rewards if you tell them about it.
Yeah, bounty
But
bug,
but
100%.
yeah, kind of.
But
But if you find an
there,
exploit and you earn dollars, like that's all yours. That's nothing they're gonna do
but
about it.
there is some
well, that's
parts in
kind
the
of an
toss.
item.
I think the counter this. I heard the interview with Swagner myself, like when he was talking about these issues. But in the toss, I think it sounds a little bit different. Like there is things you're not allowed to do in the game right now. If you check the legal agreement we had to click a few days ago, like in there you find parts like actually big parts about forbidden stuff we're not allowed to do. So how
the
they
terms
gonna
of
enforce these?
Yeah,
Like,
they're
conduct and
covering
terms
them.
of service. Yeah,
yeah,
It's like any
interesting.
other
yeah.
DeFi protocol, guys. You got to be like, it's a little bit of goodwill. You know, if someone exploits the game, you have to be like, here, we'll give you a bounty worth X, like any other protocol, and hopefully the actor will be good and return the money and take the bounty and maybe get a job.
Exactly. And what happens if no, the cheats? What I want to clarify is, let's say he's duping items, or he's doing something that is giving him, one-hit kills, like one
Yeah, it's an
shot
exploiting the
everyone
game.
around him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So,
exactly what I was talking about.
this guy, how will you take him down by the community? Only the devs can do this. All right.
That's an extremely hypothetical scenario, and like if that case did arise, right? The one shot PK. We're talking South Park here, right? The dude that just
Yeah. No, it happened in World of Warcraft before, like.
exactly,
It
like
happens
it's
everywhere,
really a
man. It
community.
happens everywhere, and it will
Yeah,
happen here. Let's not
what
let's
happens
not
like the guy blows up a Titan and like 2 million, 10 million is gone in a second? Like, do they refund it or what's gonna happen then,
Depends on their insurance.
Well, it's
If they're
very,
not insured, that's their own problem. If they bring that asset out and potentially get it destroyed, that's kind of on their self.
And what if he
Yep.
got killed by the guy that has the one-shot cheat, huh? Or something like that. I mean, I'm just throwing out hypotheticals of cheats. This is cheating,
Yeah,
and this
I
is
I
a
agree, but
real,
it's
you know.
hearsay at this point because those are all hypotheticals that we don't know, even if that
No, but
exploit's possible. So it's all hypothetical, and I agree, right? How do we deal with it? We cross that bridge when we get there, right? We would have to come up with a
well,
strategy with
I don't want
multiple
to,
guilds to take this person down and eliminate all their assets from the game.
but then
That'd
it's
be
too
the only
late,
way I can think
Yeah,
about
but
it.
that's
But at
that
that
would be
point,
the
it's too
limit
but I
late.
mean
to take it
Like
down with
if 10
impunity.
million is
All right.
gone, like
yeah,
But
it's too.
we're talking hypotheticals, so it's
yeah, but I mean,
we're
if a
talking
kid is
circles there,
found, I
right?
understand that the damage is done. If he has gone with the millions away, that's okay. I'm guessing that
Yeah.
the devs will have a word on that. I mean, they cannot allow that one cheat will ruin the whole community game. Like,
Polls vote. We can all vote against it, right? We can just vote.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
Oh, the
I
power
mean,
of the DAO for pres.
Yeah, but that's all
this is
afterwards,
this is just one thing, and then another example would be someone taking noobs, you know, and misleading them, you know, somehow cheating them out of their funds, you
Pied
know.
Pipering people, dude, that's the
Yeah.
tale's oldest time. Like that's inevitable.
So,
These are all
so
things of just human nature.
this guy has to be dealt by the community, you know. If the community
Yeah.
doesn't deal with him, then you know, there will be an outcry in the community, and the devs will deal with him, you know.
No, the devs
But
aren't going to
No,
deal
the
with
devs
him.
will
That's
not
the
deal with
point.
him.
They're not going to deal with him. They're
No,
not going
they're
to deal
not
with it.
going to
The
deal with
point
the
is the
behavior.
community has to deal with it. Yeah. No, the devs will never do
Yeah,
something. The point is, if the community can't work together, then they don't deserve to get rid of
yeah.
the
The
bad
devs
actor.
are going to
It's
work
really
on the cheats of the games and on the balance of the games. So, for example, there is one fighter that is really good, like one ship that is really good
F4,
and it's
F4.
overwhelming, and everybody's buying. I love that one too. Everybody's is using that one and only that one, so they will probably rebalance
It
somehow
was
some of
nerfed.
the other ships or create new ships. Yeah, but that's the job of the devs. The job of the community is taking all those people who is misleading noobs. I mean, it's not like in real life. In real life,
People get scammed
the
all the time. All the time.
yeah, I mean, they're trying to scam you all the time. You gotta be knowing what it is. I mean, you're gonna say like, "Hey, come on here, I have some candies for you, and I'm gonna bring you to a very nice place when they're gonna kill you." I mean, come on, we are adults here. Everybody who is here has a credit card, you know. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, you know, look,
Uh,
it really falls on the guild leader's behalf and like really instructing your higher ups to sort of help these new players, as we all spoke. Right, we all want to see the game succeed, and that falls on really the experienced players to help newer players get involved and lead them against these sort of scams, right? And eventually these bad Pied Pipers who are going to take people's money. We've already seen it. Well, there was an entire guild that got their entire wallet stolen a while ago. I can't remember his name. His name was Adore Labner, if anyone remembers that guy. But that was a perfect example a couple months ago of people getting absolutely Pied Piper. You know, we all banned him. You know, every guild hit every other guild leader up and said, you know, make sure this guy's not allowed. But you know, that's the best we can do at this point.
And
Those are
something
the
like
sort of
this
issues
is
with
very
decentralized
important.
finance.
I have never heard about this guy, and I knew that it will come a moment. And uh, you say it happened a long time ago. I've never heard about this, and you know, things like this is important to share with the community. You know, and I'm glad that we are talking like this. That we are coming to, you know, common points. You know, we're seeing that we're all adults. We can all discuss some stuff, logic. You know, we if we share as community in the information about bad actors and how we want the game to develop, that's what we were meant to do. You know, that's why I invested into the game, because I want to see it develop and I want to play it. You know, and I just wanted to say, you guys are legally responsible just for yourselves, right? And that's the same way for every bounty hunter out there. If the admins make the situation with the bounty that it's not really feasible to attack a pirate that has a bounty because it's not paid that much, or the person that he attacked doesn't get anything, or you know, how this will be solved. This will actually determine the lines between a bounty hunter and the mercenary, and the pirate and the cop, right?
yep,
Okay.
that's about.
How are we
Interesting.
doing with time, guys?
Um, I think we're in for 48 minutes, so I don't know. Whatever
No,
you
I mean,
guys
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
decide.
fine.
Yeah.
Bomber had to go. I think he's in a
Benny,
rush.
Benny, you had the story about the guy who betrayed the guild and then made a new guild or something, wasn't it like that? Was there a guy?
What he's probably referring to is me, and it's not. I didn't betray anybody at all.
It was actually not you. I think there was another guy, but you probably did too. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so I can basically say the story, right? Because I even posted it and the DM to
I
chat to make.
wasn't referring to you, but tell us the story. Yeah.
You were referring to
Tell
me
us how the
too.
pirates came from piracy. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my push talk was off. So how I got into this game was from the Radium ID.
Yeah, you got the push to talk thing again.
Oh, yeah. It,
Still
Is there
still
roll
still
over? It's coming. Yep.
you're gone, Bomber.
We're just gonna go voice activity for this one because my phone's dying.
No problem.
Yeah,
So
go,
here's
go.
how it goes. I got into the game via the Radium IDO. Hopped in the Discord like any smart investor in this space, right? You need to check everything: Reddit, Discord, all of it. Got in there, got my first couple ships, and I immediately wanted to start a pirate guild the moment I saw that role. One of the guys that helped onboard me, his name was Delberg, and he had already a guild started. It was called Mercenaries Galactica. And he said, "Why don't you just help me build it?" And I said, "Dude, I really want to do my own thing, but you know what? Why not? Let's just work together for a bit." So for about a week, I spent all my time recruiting, doing a lot of the backbone work. And he basically comes in there and drops this just nasty video where we're all like, "Actually, what the fuck, dude?" And I'm like, I'm not going to put money and time into something I don't believe in, nor do I really have a say in at this point. So I took the couple members that I recruited, still to this day. Shout out to Soulwalker, who's not with us. He's been with me since day one. And essentially, a couple of days later, a week later, I started Skull and Bones, and took the couple people I recruited. Suffice it to say that guild collapsed, and we just called it a mutiny to start Skull and Bones just for the sake of the war. So the first pirate guild in the game actually did start with a mutiny. I destroyed that guild, not by intention, right? I didn't mean to hurt the guy, but I just did not see eye to eye. So that is really what happened for that guild, and I have the DMs to prove it. So
It's cool.
that
cool.
is what happened there.
I like it.
That is kind of
Yeah.
interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So
No, I was referring
Story.
to somebody else.
Interesting.
but-
Yeah, Victor
yeah.
writes the history, man.
Yeah.
yeah, man, Skull and Bones started with a mutiny.
Yeah. Nice.
Perfect.
So we have maybe 10 more minutes. Do you guys wanna from your pirate side give some shout outs or something? Just to keep it for the guys under 1 hour.
I'm.
Shout out to the entire crew of Skull and Bones who make this possible. Each and every single person is really unique and adds so much value. And I'm just grateful for all of you who are with us, and for all the future members too.
Right. So there was actually a question asked by a couple questions asked by Jose. He asked if the pirates plan to align themselves with other non-pirate guilds.
Case
I'm
by
pretty
case
sure,
basis,
yeah, that's kind of what we talked about.
as you already know.
Yeah. And yeah, I also had a thing about spice. We pretty much went through that. And an interesting point is, like, if say a big like the club decides to go into the red zone and sort of like take a very large portion of it and align themselves with others that takes also very big portions of it and sort of like claims themselves as cops. How are we going to prevent that or like keep it fair at some point?
There is no preventing. There is no fair. We just have to plan for that.
Right.
Yeah, if some big guild is establishing, that's what we were talking about that at the beginning. If they have to establish, they will have to work with their resources, try to secure the areas the best they can, and the people that want to have access to those resources will have to take them in one way or another.
The only thing I will say
Either
to that point is, compared to the other guilds, our Skull and Bones is designed entirely for deep space. Compared to some guilds that are, multi-faction, all sort of gameplay, our guild is hyper-focused. So that is where we would gain the edge there. That is what I'd have to say on that regard.
I love it.
We will be poking the bear.
I'm looking forward to see it actually in the game. That's going to be really cool.
Bro, after this conversation, I was thinking about it. I'm like, we're going to talk about this game for so many years. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when we actually get to the real game.
That's a good point.
When Scream.
I can tell you how I see it. I have a thought about it. I see that the first day that we will be like in the real scenario, when our characters will be there and everything, it will be like crazy. That's my thought about it. There will be a lot of people running up and down, watching everything, watching at every pixel and corner, and jumping around. It will be like a lot of 6-year-old kids.
I highly doubt that. entirely. Do you know how hard it is to onboard someone on the blockchain? I think that alone is really where we get to allude earlier to the age basis. The majority, just to touch on that, right? The majority of the people in our guild are actually above 30, right? We actually do not have many young players.
Yeah, he will look
So you're
like
right.
a year-old kid.
Yeah, I agree. But just to be clear, the moment we get in that game, I am pressing the button to fire every single fucking missile on my goddamn spaceships into just space. I don't even care if it hits anything. I just want to see it.
You know
I just want to
how
see Unreal Engine explosions.
yeah, you know how I imagine it. It's like a server crash and everything is down for like 24 hours and we're all angry and the Discord
But that's
is
how
starting.
This is the
RPGs
German
always launch,
optimism we're
dude.
talking
Yeah,
about. This is the German
that's
optimism.
my
No, he's wrong,
scenario,
man.
you know.
What fucking MMORPG launches day one and doesn't crash? None.
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
do you lose the assets?
All right, so day two, I'm firing some missiles.
Okay, me too. No, I just want
Then the
to.
missiles will file, and then you will have to get the missiles again.
Don't even care, dude. Don't even care. I've
I-
waited 5 years to fire those fucking missiles. I'm so stoked.
Yeah,
I
probably
hope we will be crafting them with cream.
I'm gonna
or-
get
or
stranded somewhere. Like I just take my Overjet and straight into red zone, and then like the fuel is empty, and I just gonna be stranded somewhere in the red zone. That's my guess.
Yo, there's gonna be like tow truck drivers. That's gonna be an interesting business.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there will be a lot of people just trying to do things that they were not prepared to. Like, and some people will go there, they will see, okay, this is my ship, let's pilot it. And they will crash. I see that. I think that there will be a lot of fun in that big, it's like every game like this that requires some skill.
That's why you start out with the X4, dude.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the
well,
bike and the
I would start
Overjet.
learning something smaller, something that is not 2,500 bucks, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's start with the small bike. Once I get that, then I get to the F4.
You can also, use AI crew, right? We haven't touched on that, but you could just set a pilot for your ship.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
interesting as
Yeah,
well.
but I prefer to do it myself.
Oh,
I think
of
that
course.
will
Just being clear here for all our listeners.
Yeah, but I know that you can just set it and give him some orders. It's kind of like homeworld style stuff like that. That's cool. Yeah.
Well, gonna take a few years, you know.
Yeah. We're guessing.
Tune in next time to the next episode of Star Atlas TV.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Shout out to everybody. So we wrapping it up here. Is it everybody said everything? Hardass, you want to add
Yeah, it
something?
was a fun time. Thank you very much for hosting, Benny and OD. We really appreciate it, for taking the time and energy to do all this. Truly.
All good, all good. Easy
We
night.
really
I would like
appreciate
to
you guys
ask
coming on.
Moonman didn't say anything.
Yeah, it was quiet all the time.
He said one thing.
Yeah,
He said
no,
one.
I just been listening in, man. It's been a good talk, man. I enjoyed listening to you guys, but I just let you guys talk and do your thing. Nobody asked me any questions, so I just put my input on the criminal pirate thing.
What do you think?
Yeah, what
About
do you
what?
think?
You tell
I'm
me.
just being sarcastic, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, no. I asked. What do you mean about what? What do I think about what? I'll answer. Yeah, I'm good.
I know you would. I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a pretty serious game. I think there's going to be a lot of shit that goes down. I think people just got to protect their assets. I think, I don't know. I think pirates are pirates. You can't necessarily call yourself a pirate if, you're not out there just looting people and stealing shit. Pirates are pirates. And if you're not just doing that, then that's not pirating. You know what I mean? It's not piracy. I think when it comes to like calling bounty hunters cops, I don't think that's necessarily an accurate statement. Because I'll definitely be knocking the heads off of people, whether or not they're, doing right or doing wrong. So I don't think
That's a good
cops
point.
necessarily do
That's a good
that.
point.
So like being a bounty hunter, like I don't fuck with cops in real life. I don't necessarily think I want to be called a cop because I'm not out here patrolling stuff. If somebody has a job for me, they pay me and I go and do that service. You know what I mean?
That's a good distinction, man. Honestly, because
Yeah,
like I
for
think
sure,
what we're
for sure.
talking about, like I think the cop reference, as you honestly just made me realize, it's more. I think it's really referencing patrolling your own guild's territory, right? Less the action of hunting someone else, which would be the
Right.
bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then hold on, I got somebody else in my ear, in my other ear. I got like 7 different things going on. And so yeah, that's that. And then when it comes to, I don't know, like not doxing yourself, yeah, try to stay as safe as possible because it seems like it's going to get kind of crazy. I think another thing that people need to realize is there's going to be PvE, meaning there's going to be aliens and enemies out there. So everybody talks about going into high risk zone, high risk zone. I have a pretty good feeling that nobody's going into the high risk zone within the first fucking year because the level of those enemies are probably going to be insanely high. And if this game is actually going to be a shipbuilding game that to where you have to add components to your ship, just like Chip was saying in my interview, which is you're going to have high level weapons and low level weapons, different tiers of them and stuff like that, different components. Meaning, if you have a basic default ship, I highly doubt you're going to be able to compete with the PvE that's going to be in the high risk zone. Meaning, not everybody in the beginning is going to be able to have these powerful weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
will
some
be
of them
really
will be
more.
paid for, some of them will be earned.
Great,
But
great
I
point.
think everybody's probably going to be pushed back in the medium zone and have to fight there for a while, and then we're going to get into high risk zone. So I don't think anybody's going to be really occupying the high risk zone off the bat. Got to watch out for spies and espionage. You know, if you want to be a shithole that just spies all day and goes into other guilds and stuff like that, I think that you need to be a very intelligent group, because if you take on the role of trying to be a spy and you're a fucking dumbass, your name's going to get ruined, your guild's going to get ruined, and it's the stupidest thing that you could choose to do
Hmm.
unless you think that you're going to do something like the KGB, which means you're going to have intelligence groups that probably aren't even in crypto, probably aren't even people in Star Atlas. It's outside of both of those two things, because you have to remember in the KGB and all these other spy groups in the real world, they live this life for 10 years, 15 years without not even their wife that they go to sleep with every night. So if anybody just
That's the plan, dude.
tries to
That's
pull
what
stupid
people
spy
gonna do.
shit in this,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
Thanks
that's
for
gonna
the
happen.
resume. I'm gonna put that as our criteria.
Yeah.
if people try to be
Also, I think that's
spies
why
in
we
this
have
game,
guilds,
um,
like to go to the red zone.
and you
I
don't have
think
any, and you don't have any, yeah, and if you don't have any wits about you, you're gonna get found out really quick. And also, I'm just a prick, and I see something that is like, you're not to be trusted. I'm giving you very little information for forever, and I know I'm protecting my guild, and I'm also protecting, those who I know. So that's got to people got to watch out for that. That's just a message to all spies. I hope your dumb ass gets caught, because if you guys are doing stupid shit, you're gonna get fucked over, and it's gonna ruin your name. You're never gonna be able to do anything in this game. So think twice about doing shit like that. And then the other thing I would say is to just protect your money and know what the hell you're doing, because these are real world assets. I think everybody talks a big game and wants to be involved in this game and go destroy things and go loot things and go do this and that. But once you are playing the game and you lose $5,000, you go, oh shit, I just lost $5,000. I only have 9 other ships out of my 10 ship fleet, and 2 of them are 5,000. One of them's 10,000. The other ones are maybe 1,000, right? So then you realize to yourself, if I just lost a $5,000 asset that quick, I think I might actually tone it down a little bit, and I'm probably not going to, um, you know, be as stupid again. So I think once people start losing a couple of ships, a couple of high assets, they're gonna rethink what the hell they actually want to play in this game. So that would be my ending thought on everything, if I summed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was pretty clear, and I agree with you that we can get into real life problems if we're not careful about it. That's why I said that I will take the bike at the beginning until I know that I can pilot it. And yeah, definitely the hybrid zone. I hope that the enemies in the highest level will be really hard in PvE also, because otherwise
You see
it's
that
gonna
Tufa
be
fucking commander, dude? Do you see that goddamn ship? That is not gonna be easy to take down at all.
yeah.
That thing looks like a fucking beast.
Yeah, all those big ships are gonna be tough. It's like, yeah. So I agree with you, woman. It's a game for people that
We want
the
that though. We want
how to risk. Yeah.
We don't want it to
Yeah.
be easy. I'm happy you touched on that point of that it's not just a straight line race. You're gonna have to actually progress through the game, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, right? Tier 1, is PVE entirely. Then you have a mix of PVE, PvP, and then in the end you have just lawlessness. So I totally agree, and I love that view that you're not just gonna make it beelining it to the end. You're gonna have to progress through the game and play the game to really get there.
Is that a bird in your
Correct,
background? Like I imagine you, the pirate with the bird on the shoulder. There was some noise like. Oh, whatever.
We have a
Maybe.
monkey. Call him Jack. I have a T. We have. I'm sorry. We have a tigu. We call him Jack.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
Yeah, and
hanging
about Moonman,
beach
about the
with his
spy thing, I
parrot
think we
on
need
his
to have
shoulder.
yeah. About the spy thing, I think we need to have a discussion because I think spies are gonna definitely be there and gonna be needed, and they're not stupid as you said.
So,
Like they gonna
OD,
do the
you definitely need to have on.
push to talk.
You should invite then Electric Sheep. He is the guild leader of. Yeah, you should invite Electric Sheep. He is the guild leader of Syntax, and they are the data runners of this game.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the problem is
He's a great dude. I think it'd be very enjoyable to hear their insights. I don't think they have much exposure.
Yeah, the topic
maybe
is
maybe they decline, but
yeah, I check it out. The topic is very delicate because you won't tell anybody how you do it, But yeah, maybe.
It's going up and down.
sensitive.
Good. We done here or anything to add?
Well, I'm not calling them out. They are public, so.
Yeah, no. That's all good.
Yeah, I think
Are we
so.
ready to wrap
I
this
think
up?
that-
It was kind
That's
of
what I
interesting
meant.
to hear all the views and everything, and I think that we pretty much can agree everybody to say that they probably join together if there is real toxic or like what we call like real criminal people.
Maliciousness,
I
yes.
think the community, maliciousness, yes. I think then we will stand together. Whether what side or whatever we're fighting on, I think we will fight together for the community's sake.
Okay.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
I think it was very cool. I'd hope to see if we could get some chat some other time in the future. Or maybe if we get some more kind of gameplay or get into some more arguments or whatever.
It was a nice Socratic discussion,
Yeah.
so I'm certainly down to join
Absolutely,
again.
absolutely.
Definitely, man. Thank you
Good
for
stuff.
hosting this. Thank you for moderating and setting this up, guys. Now you really have. I mean, it's options are endless. We can
Yeah.
have different spies. We can have different. I don't know, professions on. It's amazing what we can do from now.
Absolutely. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Just to say that.
Good to hear.
Everybody,
Good to hear.
Thanks for
Yeah,
hosting,
thanks for
guys.
Atlas
hosting.
TV.
Thanks.
Shout
Thanks
out to
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you in the brew.
Take it
soon.
easy, fam.
Yeah.
See you on the
Bye-bye.
dark side.
Talk to you guys.
Right.